Hello guys and welcome to the comparison video of Xiaomi Redmi Note 3 versus the Lenovo Vibe K4 Note. So let's get into it. Starting off with the display, both handsets have 5.5-inch IPS LCD display with the resolution of 1080 by 920 pixels. As for the pixel density, both handsets have 401 pixels per inch. Coming to the screen protection, there is no screen protection on the Xiaomi Redmi Note 3 versus you got Gorilla Glass 4 protection on Lenovo Vibe K4 Note. As for the feel and weight, the Xiaomi Redmi Note 3 is 8.7mm weighing 164 grams. It also have back panel made of metal, so this feels premium in the hand. As for the Lenovo Vibe K4 Note, which is 9.2mm weighing 158 grams, have stereo speakers at the front, so watching movies and listening to music while using the phone feels good. As for the operating system, both handsets comes with Android 5.1.1 Lollipop, while you got MIUI 7.0 on Redmi Note 3. Coming to the chipset, we got Qualcomm Snapdragon 650 chipset on the Xiaomi Redmi Note 3, which is the world's first phone to have Snapdragon 650 chipset inside. While we got MediaTek MT6753 chipset on the Lenovo Vibe K4 Note. As for the CPU, the Xiaomi Redmi Note 3 got quad-core 1.4 GHz Cortex-A53 and dual-core 1.8 GHz Cortex-A72 CPU, while you got octa-core 1.3 GHz Cortex-A53 CPU on the Lenovo Vibe K4 Note. As for the GPU, there is Adreno 510 GPU on the Xiaomi Redmi Note 3 versus we have Meli T720 MP3 on the Lenovo Vibe K4 Note. Coming to the internal storage, there is 16 and 32 GB versions on the Xiaomi Redmi Note 3 versus there is 8, 16 and 32 GB models of Lenovo Vibe K4 Note. As for the RAM, the Redmi Note 3 got 2 GB of RAM for 16 GB model and 3 GB of RAM for 32 GB model, while we have 2 GB of RAM on the Lenovo Vibe K4 Note, but also there is a 3 GB version of the handsets available too. As for the expandable storage, both handsets can support a microSD card up to 128 GB, while the Note 3 uses SIM2 slot versus we have dedicated SD card slot on the Lenovo Vibe K4 Note. As for the camera, we have 16 megapixels camera with aperture f2.0 on the Xiaomi Redmi Note 3 versus the Lenovo Vibe K4 Note have 13 megapixels camera with aperture f2.2, while both handsets can record 1080p videos at 30 frames per second. As for the front camera, we have 5 megapixels camera with aperture f2.0 on the Redmi Note 3 versus we have 5 megapixels camera with aperture 2.2 on the Lenovo Vibe K4 Note. So this means the Redmi Note 3 is gonna give you better low light selfies. Coming to the NFC, the Xiaomi Redmi Note 3 does not have NFC, while we have NFC on the Lenovo Vibe K4 Note. As for the fingerprint sensor, both handsets are docking a fingerprint sensor. And at last, for the battery, we have 4050 mAh battery on the Xiaomi Redmi Note 3 versus we have 3300 mAh battery on the Lenovo Vibe K4 Note. So that's it for the comparison video guys. I hope you guys like this. I really appreciate it.